I thought that this was pretty interesting. And the only reason I say that this is interesting is because it gets worse. It gets much, much worse a little bit later in the show because I really need to bring Houston to the front of the congregation. I usually like to review my videos in real time. And so I had to check one video because I seen the headline and I'm like, what? Did that really happen? But we'll get there. We're going to get there. We're going to dedicate an entire segment to the crime in Houston today because y'all keep telling me how great Houston is and all of that. But we're going to get there. And thank y'all for the super chats. I'm going to read the super chat shortly. But check it out. A man is riding around in a rape vehicle.
Investigators call this man a monster and describe the blood-curdling screams and the body cam footage that made even the most seasoned shake at the LA County Sheriff's Department. This is a first look at the suspected serial rapist, 39-year-old Eduardo Sarabia. Investigators say he's a transient and illegal immigrant from Mexico, now locked up with no bail. LASD investigators strongly believe the 2 rapes he's charged with are not the only ones. Sarabia is formally charged with 2 felony counts of sexual assault for forcible rape of a woman just a few days ago on Sunday, May 12th, and a 26-year-old woman on Monday the 13th. 2 heroic deputies caught him in the act inside a white van in the San Gabriel Mountains and arrested him yesterday. There are a lot of very disturbing and heartbreaking details surrounding these 2 incidents that sound straight out of a horror movie, but we can't release them yet without jeopardizing LASD's case. This is a look at that, quote, rape dungeon on wheels, a van they say disgustingly outfitted for rape. It's a 2015 Ford Transit van, essentially a mobile cage with no windows in the back. Now a crime scene on wheels filled with evidence and under 24-hour surveillance in the LASD San Dimas parking lot. And this is where Sarabia would take his victims at night, a dark, scary, remote location in the Angeles National Forest with no chance of a cell signal. It's up Highway 39 in Azusa Canyon at mile marker 21 in a pitch black dirt turnout. It's frankly a miracle that the deputies even found the van described from the first rape victim in the remote area of the mountains where LASD is drastically understaffed and people who do live in the area are begging for more law enforcement officers to help patrol it and keep them safe. The Special Victims Bureau strongly believes there are more rape victims and needs the public's help for those victims to come forward and help ensure this man stays locked up and doesn't harm anybody else. So this investigation is undoubtedly in the preliminary stage with many more developments and details to release as investigators sift through all the evidence at the crime scene and inside that van and speak to the survivors.
So this is one of the residual effects of opening up our borders, not vetting the people that come through. And now you have illegal migrants, illegal immigrants over into this country. Somehow they're able to get enough money and enough resources to be able to buy a van, register it. And we've always looked at these as rapist vans, but we never identified the transits are with no windows. We always looked at the Econo lines. When we was younger, as little kids, we always looked at them Econo lines. They look like paint trucks and they don't be having no windows on it. We was like, no, man. Anybody that speak to you in an Econo line and it ain't got no windows, they need to be going straight to work and going straight back home. Because anybody that speak to you in an Econo line and they got no windows in the back, that's a rapist van. So, ladies, I tell you guys, I warn you on a regular basis. I say, listen, it is rough out here. Don't put yourself in a position to be compromised. You have to be very vigilant, be very careful. I know that y'all say that y'all don't need no man, but it ain't until it's too late until you then realize that, hey, maybe I shouldn't be out here in these streets by myself because there's some illegal migrants that came over here that got let in through the Biden administration, including our border czar, Mamala, in charge. And they over here and they purchasing vehicles and they taking y'all up into the mountains and then they outfitting their van with all of the necessary equipment. And listen, you know that this is not the first time that they did it when they got over here in America. This is not an American revelation that they got. This is something that he's been doing since he was over across the border, wherever it was that he was doing what he was doing. And then he came over here and they let him all out over there. And then they feel comfortable coming over here. And I know that y'all don't care because y'all like, listen, that's just one incident. They all good. Okay. All right. I tell you what, And I always warn y'all, I'm going to stay vigilant and I'm going to take a different take and I'm going to approach the migrant crisis a little bit different since y'all now are becoming a little bit tone deaf when it comes to it, all right? So in addition to that, social media, you can always count on good old social media. Social media is leading to a drug and a gun bust because y'all don't know how to stay quiet. And I'm very thankful for that. Check it out.
We get back to IT Mate now. A post on social media led police to suspected drug traffickers and illegal guns. IT Mate's Cody Fisher reports now.
Court documents say that detectives saw Dejan.
Is it me? And I know that y'all always say Anton and y'all always try to hold me accountable for stereotyping. Is it me or is there always a description that's fit when it comes to the people that do some of the craziest crimes in our communities? I'm just saying, I'm not saying what the description is. I'm not saying what their hair be like. I'm not saying whether or not they got tattoos on their neck or their face. I'm not saying whether or not their lips are black. I'm not saying any of that. That wasn't a part of the conversation. What I am saying is, and thank you, Justin K. I'm going to read that super chat shortly. What I am saying is, it seems like if you want to make sure that nothing happens to you and you get caught up with drugs or gun busts or you not get shot up, then it doesn't matter whether you're in Houston, Milwaukee, Atlanta, DC, anywhere. What I am saying is it a greater possibility? It rose from 67% to 71% this week of the stereotype and profiling. And don't tell me that profiling is wrong because the FBI do it, right? I watch Mindhunters. Is it me or is there a description that comes along with that's usually the suspect and what they look like? I'm just asking a question. I'm not coming to a conclusion. We got to see the rest of this. I haven't even seen this yet. Let's continue.
Taylor dancing around holding a gun on his Instagram story. That sparked the investigation that led to his arrest and the arrest of Galkel Weathers, along with the seizure of drugs and guns. Pounds of marijuana and about 3 ounces of meth were taken off the street because of the investigation at this apartment complex on the west side. This is where detectives tracked down 20-year-old DeJuan Taylor after he posted a video to Instagram of him holding.
Y'all love the gram. Y'all love to stunt on the gram illegally. I'm with it.
Holding a gun. Taylor was already facing a charge of possessing a machine gun, so it was illegal for him to have a gun. When detectives tracked Taylor to this complex, they saw 20-year-old Galkel Weathers holding a gun and going in and out of a breezeway at the apartments. Weathers was on house arrest at the time after pleading guilty to possessing a machine gun, so it was also illegal for him to be holding a gun. Police first arrested Taylor during a traffic stop after they found guns in the car. Then they got a search warrant for Weathers' apartment. That's where they found the marijuana and meth and more guns, including one with the machine gun.
Somebody said, Anton, I think you're a little jealous of us with hair. Oh, you think I can't get no hair? Let me tell you something, bro. This is 2024. Money can get you anything. I can go get a whole hair transplant. Listen, tomorrow, in a week, I will have real hair growing all the way down to my eyebrows coming out. Money gets you anything. There is nothing. Bro, I can literally go over to another country and get leg extensions and become 6'4" in less than 2 years. In less than 2 years, I could be 6'4". There is nothing, literally zero, zilch, nada, that I cannot achieve with the level of resources I've been able to acquire in my lifetime. There is no reason to be jealous. Now, one thing that you can't get that I got is this hammer that's in my pants. You know what I'm saying? Listen, all of us have limitations. Mine's may be height related and hair related. Yours might be, I know that this is a daytime show, so we're going to keep it PG-13. But it's some things that you can't get that I got, but I can get what you got. I can get what you got. Absolutely. I can get a whole head of hair. I can get leg extensions. I can get all of that. But you can't get what I got. Now, who jealous of who?
Conversion device on it, turning it into a fully automatic gun.
Being able to get those 5 guns off the street, one of which included a machine gun conversion device, we can't go into, we can't say just what we prevented by getting these off the streets. These two individuals were known violent offenders.
IMPD says the Indiana Crime Guns Task Force focuses their efforts on suspected criminals like Taylor and Weathers.
Here in 2024 alone, they've taken 125 crime guns off the street and upwards of 90 violent offenders.
Congratulations to them. And I'm glad that these guys are willing to tell on themselves on social media. And last but not least, we got a whole lot of gang arrests. Now, I'm not sure exactly where Waterbury is. Maybe some of you guys can let me know inside of the chat. But look at the profiles. We profiling today. Look at the profile. Now, I will tell you, one thing about us bald head guys is that we less likely to do a crime, and we less likely to commit a criminal offense. If you look at every single person in this next, over a dozen gang members is now in prison. See? You the suspect. If you look at this, every single person on here got dreads, hair, tattoos on their neck. They fit the description. But you know what you don't see? You don't see no bald men on there. See, bald men are mature. We smart. We think a little bit differently. We're a little bit wiser. We faster when we get away because we got that aerodynamic head. It's a little bit different with us bald men, but I know one thing is for sure, and two things is for certain. When I look at this lineup, I don't see one bald head man. But let's go ahead and check out what they did.
And you're looking over your shoulder. Is it the same?
One of Waterbury's fiercest gangs is collapsing. Its
That's right,
leader
Eric.
and some other top members are now in prison, most likely for life.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Dylan Fearon is live in Waterbury tonight after the FBI investigated for years. Dylan.
Well, Mark.
Listen, if I got mine, I hope you got yours. If I got mine, I hope you got yours, Wicked Gems. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all of the hammerhead sharks out here in these streets. When y'all hear me say hammerhead sharks, you know what I'm referring to. When y'all see me say hammerhead sharks, you know who we referring to. Now, I don't want to see nobody else on the internet talking about a hammerhead, because then you gonna know where they got it from, and then y'all gonna be lying, talking about, oh, Anton, they been calling people hammerheads since 1963. Use a lie. Use a lie, because everybody ain't a hammerhead. You know what I'm saying?
Aaron, the hope is here in the Brass City that these communities and neighborhoods are safer tonight. Police certainly believe so. More than a dozen gang members, associates, and leaders now behind bars and have been convicted recently for killing rival gang members and innocent people. It's a major gang takedown to take back Waterbury neighborhoods.
This case was one of the most complicated that our city has seen.
The FBI has spent 6 years trying to shut down the Brass City Syndicate, called 960. Its leader, Gabriel Pulliam, and associate Julian Scott were convicted last week. For years, the gang has been killing, dealing drugs, and running an organized crime ring. FBI Special Agent Joseph Altamari has been in the thick of it.
Countless hours, years, really, going through this investigation.
In 2018, Pulliam and Scott shot at a group of people, killing a young mother of 4 and paralyzing a second woman. We were there as a community mourned. The killers now facing life without parole. So are these 4, all in their mid-20s. They killed 2 rival gang members in 2017. This is from that horrifying night. A shaken neighborhood demanded answers.
Every Connecticut resident, regardless of race, ethnicity, or social economic status, deserves to live in a safe community.
Police claim the city is safer, that violent crime decreased the last 2 years while the FBI was taking down the ruthless gang.
I hope that they have, because it'd mean a better quality of life for the people in the surrounding area and for the children especially, to be able to, play outside and not be an innocent bystander of a crime and get hurt in any way.
Janet moved to Waterbury from England more than 50 years ago. She's upset at how much the city has changed.
You go downtown and you're looking over your shoulder. Is it the same?
Now, police say some of these gang members, Mark and Aaron, make music videos and rap about their killings afterwards. Police say that was key evidence in putting many of these gang members away for life.
am I the only person that sees this as a problem? That these dudes is out here making rap songs. All of them, look, they out here making rap songs. Is that like a rite of passage in the black community? Hey, listen, fam, you go out there, you hurt your ops, you ruin your community, you tear everything up, you go and get you some dreadlocks, and then you make sure that you go and put it on Instagram and you create a rap song about it. I'm not mad at it because, you know, at least they telling on themselves and it's making it easier for us to be able to identify the killers and the stealers, and then we can call the police on them. But is that like a rite of passage? When did that become a thing? How is that a thing for you to go do some dirt and then you go and you rap about it and you put every single thing? Even Dave Chappelle made a parody of it a long time ago when y'all still doing the same thing. Dog, they got Young Thug on trial right now as the largest trial ever in Georgia, and y'all still doing the same thing over and over. But I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. I hope they all stay in prison for the rest of their lives, for the lives that they've taken and ruined in our community.